monster. I know you're a monster.
I don't even know if we're live right now, so I'm just gonna not even make the sounds. Oh, we're live? We're golden? Okay, cool. Oh, look, Maggie's face is down at the bottom. Kidding, you probably can't see it. Alright. Oh, Nictus. What episode are we on?
77, my good man.
77 long fought, streamed hours. We finally did it. 77, that's our milestone. We are retiring. Have a good show.
Thanks for showing up. We out of here.
At least we gave him a proper send off. Like, at least we showed up. Like, we should just be like the Avatar and just one day we just vanish. Right when they need us most, gone. Go to live on our private island. All right. Episode 77. Those Two Nerds podcast. I'm Veer Coach.
And I am Nictus from Nictus Plays Games.
And we are in for a nice little treat today because we have some things to actually talk about. We got some nice little package updates on my lovely Fnatic.
I think it's really funny that you're still dealing with that situation. I would have already gotten my money back.
No, the deal is closed.
Time ago.
The deal is closed now. Now, like, you know, I'm like Thanos. Like I got all the power. But we got some nerd stuff to talk about today because, you know, with Godzilla, update on that because they just released a trailer today. And some other stuff. Whatever you got, whatever you want to talk about, Kev. Talk about what you want to talk about.
I don't know. I talk about things, you know?
All right. Well, let's jump straight into it. I know you're pretty excited about the Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yeah, I love Godzilla.
Did you get a chance to see the new trailer that came out?
Yeah,
today?
I've watched it. I've watched it today probably 3 or 4 times. On like teaser trailers like that, I like to catch them a couple of times because like the first time you watch a trailer for something that you're really excited about, you don't even really pay attention to what's going on. You're just so excited that something's happening with something that you're excited about. You're just like, yay! So like when you get all the initial excitement out, you got to go back to it and, you know, watch it again and you can kind of absorb more. You know, speaking of trailers, since it is kind of on topic, you know what amazes me is like the amount of detail sometimes that people can get from a trailer. And they'll pick up stuff that's going on in the movie or that's going to happen in the movie just from the trailer. And I'm like, I watched the same trailer you did. I watched it 84 times. I didn't see that in there. And then they'll show you like this one little tiny still frame with like so-and-so's head in the background looking around the corner like, oh my God, that means that he's going to make a cameo in the movie. I'm like, how the fuck did you see that? I mean, like, I watched it. Are you watching it just frame by frame? And I think some of them are.
Yeah. So
but
I
yes,
watched
Godzilla. It's pretty dope. Like I went out
Mhm.
and I didn't own any Godzilla merchandise, so I had to get some. And
Godzilla.
this Godzilla. He sits on my desk now. He hangs out with me when I'm doing D&D and some other things. Yeah,
Yeah,
it made me sad.
Speaking of D&D, I wanted to actually message you this. You looked extremely happy playing D&D the other night.
I was so happy playing D&D the other night.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I saw your picture and I was like, that is not a picture that was posed for,
No,
photoshopped up.
That was genuine.
Raw smile.
It was a screenshot actually from the stream.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't planned, and I did. I had a great time playing D&D this week.
I thought the D&D campaign was pretty good this week. A lot of action and a lot of oh shit, we're gonna die, which is always fun.
I was scared about that encounter. I won't even pretend like it wasn't.
It was.
It was
That's
hairy.
what's tough. Yeah, that's what's tough for me right now. Is like I do a lot of damage personally as like the ranger, like even with my swords. But like I need to get some bolts.
Dude,
Bad.
you are the roguiest ranger I've ever seen in my life. You're the one guy that should be playing a rogue who is not.
But it fits my whole my arc, because like I said, when I made the character, I wanted to come from a clan guild of ranger assassin, like hitmen almost exact. So after playing it and stuff like that, like the whole come up of it, I'm like, I need my guy to be like A1 stealthy, just all of a sudden you're just dead. I come up behind you, you don't even see me. And also, like I said, I love entertaining. Like I almost should have played a bard. Because like I said, I like to see if I can get people in trouble. With the cut on the face, and then say like, oh, these guys have been chasing me, pretending I've been in their group the whole time, and it works.
I like the bard class is one of my favorite classes to see played when people are having a good time with it. Like if you are kind of a stick in the mud and you don't really want to come up with like weird creative things, then you shouldn't play a bard. Like they're like a really cool all around character. Like they don't excel at anything. They have a little bit of everything. They can do a little bit of magic. They can attack a little bit. They can buff allies. They can do a little bit of healing. They have a little bit of everything. But just the idea behind them, these entertainers that they entertain how they entertain, usually through music or song or poetry, and I could see you playing a bard. I think that it would be, I think maybe the next time you do a character, I think you should play a bard. I think you'd have a really, really good time with it.
Bard rank. Actually, I don't think I've multi-classed yet.
No, you haven't.
So could I go bard?
Oh, you absolutely can go. Well, I mean, as long as Brandon allows it, I don't see why you couldn't.
Bard ranger.
It's definitely an interesting character combination for sure. I mean, he let what's his face go rogue paladin.
Yeah. Well, hitman, entertainer. Like I'm like fucking 007 out here with Master of Disguise too. Like
yeah, you basically would be at that point like a spy, right? Like,
am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club?
I mean that's definitely interesting. So, but no, it was good. It was good. I like bards, and then Tasha's Cauldron of Everything added a couple of new character options for bards. Well, they did for all the classes, but bards in specific, there's a new school for bards called the School of Creation, and it's interesting. So, I mean, if you're in one of my campaigns, you have access to all my books. You should go look at all the different bard options.
For sure.
I've actually when I've run games before, when someone is playing a character and instead of forcing them into a multi-class that they don't want, let's say that they're like, I started this character, I'm not having as much fun with it as I thought I was going to have with it, and they want to swap out. I just let them swap. I'm like, okay, well, you are no longer a whatever. You've spent this new time doing this new thing. Because I mean, ultimately, the goal with D&D is to let your characters have fun how they want to have fun.
Mhm.
And if they're not having fun, that's the quickest way to get somebody to go, no, I don't want to play this anymore. And this is dumb. So
You're not wrong.
DMs a lot of times when they're a little bit too strict on the rules. Now, I'm not going to let a guy change his class every week. You know, like it's like, come on,
Oh,
man,
man.
find
Oh,
a
man.
thing and let's play it. But you know,
This week we really need a sorcerer. Oh man, I hate my guy. Let's go sorcerer.
no, I'm not quite like that. But you know, I want you to find the class that you like, that you're having fun with, and you don't always get the right class the first or
Mhm.
sometimes even the second time. Because like you started off with a wizard or a sorcerer, I don't remember. And that's just not you. I mean, the idea of casting magic sounds cool and throwing fireballs sounds cool, but you're not that kind of guy. You want to rush
So
in, and wizards can't do
it
that.
wasn't. It wasn't what I thought. Oh my god! There we go. I needed to get that one out. All right, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be when I first joined as the wizard. I figured it was going to be a lot more spell casting. Like I was just going to be able to like basically infinite spell cast, never have to worry about it. And then I had to start hitting people with my staff, and I was like, yeah, this is where I draw the line.
Honestly, Tasha's Cauldron fixed some of that, and
Yeah.
there's a lot more cantrips that can do some damage. And when you get higher level, honestly, if you're wanting that kind of character, you should have played a warlock.
Yeah.
Because they have very limited like spell slots, but they can basically swap out cantrips for leveled spells, and it's actually a lot of fun. There's also a character. There's like a version of the warlock where basically they buff themselves. They create like magical weapons, swords and
Mhm.
stuff, and they become like badass fighters while using their spells and still using their normal spells that they hit you with. So like they're not little bitches in combat; like they actually can fight.
Yeah.
One of the new ones is they can summon genies and stuff too. So like
And
it's
we'll
just one of
grant
those
your
things
3 wishes.
you gotta find what it is that you like, you know, and
Yeah.
play.
Oh,
There's a lot of them.
for sure, for
I
sure.
think you should definitely look into switching to maybe a bard or a multi-class into
No,
a
I
bard.
think I'm gonna I think I'm gonna multi-class in a bard, but it's gonna be the most unknown thing. I'm just gonna do it.
I think it should just be a secret because like there was times where like you were gone or you weren't with us. One of those times you went off and you learned how to be a bard, and then you just come back and you're like, "Hey guys," and you're playing like a fucking instrument or something. You're playing like a harpsichord or something when you come back, and you're like, "Hey, I'm a bard now."
I need to somehow figure out how I'm gonna get away from you guys for like a short period of time,
Yeah,
and I may even talk to like Brandon about it
I
and
think you
tell.
could probably figure it out with because we're on that journey now to the one place.
Well, I was gonna
You
say,
could branch off from that and just meet us there because it's gonna take days for us to get there. I don't know how long it would take for him to tell you that you have to wait or whatever to become a bard. So
well, I
maybe
was
we
gonna
go
say,
and do our thing, and then when we get back to the town, you meet up with us, and you're playing the fucking guitar. Like, hey guys, what's going on?
yeah, okay,
I'd
yeah.
definitely talk to him about it because
I was gonna say if I need like a little short little break like from D&D, I'm just gonna tell him like I went on to go like learn my bard thing, and I'll just keep making up these like fake excuses on why I can't come that night, and then I'll show up show up back in the campaign, um, as the as the bard that plays the guitar or
the
something.
thing that I want you to do if you're gonna go the bard route and make me proud, I want you to come up with like
Songs.
little poems or whatever. Because I know you're not going to get on the thing and like write songs. Like, no offense to you, you're just not a songwriter. It's whatever. But like,
Well,
you could be
you
out
don't
there
know that. You don't know that.
on your turns. You know, like you have like different poems or something to do your spells. I want you to. That's what you do. You say that poem because it's funny and it's hilarious. And I think after a while, it's going to get on other people's nerves. But I'm going to applaud every time that you do it. I'm gonna be like, that's my nephew. He's doing stuff.
Yeah. See here. Yeah. No, man. I feel like that'd be that'd be a nice touch.
So yeah, but you're right. Back to the original D&D thing. I was pretty excited. I was pretty happy. I had badgers fighting stuff this week, so that was fun. I'm actually planning on focusing a lot more of my content in 2021, and I had really kind of started doing a little bit more of it last year, but I'm going to start focusing more of my individual content on Dungeons and Dragons, and some tabletop stuff.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm like a real big fan right now of like the smaller one-shot adventures. I think the overall long campaigns are fun if you can find a good group to play with.
So I think what would be neat if you could, I mean, if you could somehow swing it and you can kind of a little bit grow an audience and stuff. With the one shots, do one shot with viewers. If you could actually build up an audience, just be like a one shot, like if you want interested into the one shot, just like send these messages out to people.
I
Try to set
have,
something up.
I've honestly considered it.
Yeah, I think
I've
I mean
honestly considered it.
because I mean, let's be honest. What would you say? Average time put together a pretty okay story. All the monsters and stuff like that. How long do you think it would roughly take you?
For a one shot, there's a bunch of theories behind that, right? So one of my favorite theories about the typical one shot adventure is something it's called the 5-room dungeon. And they said for a pretty good encounter, or basically a pretty good night of gaming, anywhere between like 2 to 3-ish hours, they said the 5-room dungeon is one of the best approaches that you can take. They're not always literal rooms, but you can make it literal rooms if you want to. But each room kind of incorporates a different part of D&D. There's like one of the sections will be a roleplay section where you have to interact with an NPC, or you are required to roleplay in some way. Another one will be like a skill check room or a combat room. One will be a confrontation, and then you'll have like your conclusion. So if you take that approach, honestly, you can whip up one night adventures with not a lot of depth to the story. I'd say in an hour or two.
Okay.
But the other thing that's really nice is I've recently bought the Epic Encounter sets that Steamforged Games puts out. Again, there's another company I'm plugging on the channel that doesn't give me free things. They're the same company that does the Dark Souls board game.
Yeah, I mean that's a great the overall piece quality. Everything that comes with the board games is, I mean, it's phenomenal. It's top shelf.
So the encounter that I ran with your dad and our cousin Jesse and like a few weeks back, that was one of the epic encounters. I just basically tried to scan or take pictures of or incorporate it into Roll20 so we could play it online. But I actually have a physical box with miniatures and stuff that you could play it. So they continue to put out new stuff. They usually put out 2 scenarios at a time. One is like a bunch of minions with like a smaller boss, and then there's usually a bigger box that comes out that's like a main boss. So for that one, it was all kobolds, and like the mini boss or whatever was this slightly higher magical using kobold. And then when you get further into it, the next one was like a red dragon that, and it all scales to level. So they're not going to be like, fight this dragon, you're only level 4, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
What's nice about it is that you can use the encounters to tie it together and make like 2 sessions or 3 sessions or you can use them individually. So if you only want to do the kobold one, just do the kobold one. If you never want to do the other ones, then you can just do the kobold one, or you can throw that into your existing campaign or your game. Like you need something that night and you don't have anything prepared. That's kind of what they're for. But if you want to have a thing where it's like, all right, I want to get people to fully feel what Dungeons and Dragons is like, we're gonna go in and we're gonna fight this dragon tonight, and I'll just go get this box, and it'll be like a level 1 to 5 encounter. And you're done. There's not any prep. It gives you prompts and stuff. So I like those. I'm doing Dungeon in a Box, the subscription for that. And my first box, which I told you when it comes, I want to do an unboxing with you. So I think if I use stuff like that, the epic encounters and the Dungeon in a Box, because you can use a lot of those, that I wouldn't even have to actually create a lot of content. Like personally, I mean, I could create my own stuff. But I could run the exact same Kobold Shrine of the Kobold Queen with new people, and I could do that for like a month. I could be like, all right, for this month we're running Kobold, Shrine of the Kobold Queen, and anybody that wants to play who hasn't played before, come on in and we'll go. But I also thought it might be kind of fun to do tutorials for like basic tutorials for how to play Dungeons and Dragons from both sides of the table, both as a player and as a DM.
For sure.
Because there's a lot of people that I think would be interested in playing, but they're kind of intimidated by it. They're like, what do I buy? What do I need? Where do I start?
Even if I handed you the player's handbook and I handed you, we're going to go classic with it, a sheet of paper, and said, fill this out for me.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what in the fuck is this?
Pretty much, right? Pretty much. You go, I don't know. I don't even know what that is. So.
Yeah. No, I think that would be a great idea. I think that's a market that doesn't get hit all the time. And I think right now, especially, we're still obviously in a pandemic and stuff like that, and more people. Okay. My computer just randomly started playing an ad. That was weird. I saw it like loading up, like it just started to load up and I was like, but no, I think it's a great idea. I think there's a lot that can be offered by going that route. Obviously, the Dungeon in the Box, the unboxings, everything under the sun when it comes to that.
Well, not only that, I buy a lot of stuff, right? You know me. I buy a lot of stuff.
You buy a lot of stuff and then you don't show it off.
And then I buy a lot of stuff for D&D, and either I don't get to use it or I don't show it off. I'm not as big as some of the other channels out there. I don't intend to be like one of the bigger YouTube channels or anything like that. Mine is more of I wouldn't say I'm a casual D&D fanatic, but I'm also not like one of these hardcores. But I also still have to buy all my own stuff. A lot of these guys get stuff donated to them, and no offense to them, but like they're like, hey, I'm gonna review this set of the new Icons of the Realm booster packs with the miniatures in it. They were kind enough to donate me a case, and I'm like, that's great. I can't afford a case. If someone donated me a case, I'd be more than happy to open it up, but I can't afford every time a new miniature set comes out to drop $320 on a case just to open it up on the air. Sorry, I can't do it.
So a buddy of mine, with the cases, unpacking and stuff, growing channels, buddy of mine, he's dipped his feet in for the past 3 months or so, hardcore Pokemon pack open.
Mm-hmm.
Like going to these stores, restocking up, and stuff like that. He's actually opening his own store.
That's awesome.
He was sitting down. He's been doing a lot of TikTok. So his big thing on TikTok is he is opening up every single day one Vivid Voltage pack that obviously contains the chunky Pikachu, Rainbow Pikachu.
Yeah, I didn't get that one. I got the other one.
So he's opening up one every day. And if you watch, he's doing it to where as soon as he opens it up, he's going to do a raffle for it.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it away. Doesn't even matter, not graded, nothing. He's just going to give it away to you. And so like he took his like TikTok channel from like nothing. And I think he's now over like 50, 60,000 views. Or not views, but followers.
See, there is a slight problem right now in the Pokemon trading card community, and not everyone is really super thrilled at all the cool pack opening videos and these, because it's not just like a couple of guys, right? It's not like just a couple of guys that are doing it.
Everybody.
There's a ton of people doing it. There's a ton of streamers and YouTube creators that are opening up this stuff, and they're making it really difficult for the people who play the game to get the content. So like, I don't know how much you guys keep up with it, but if you go to places like Target and Walmart and like these big chain stores, and even like the local game stores, like I don't know where I don't know where you live, so I don't want to name off game stores. So, but like where we live, Comic Town and like the Guard Tower and Capital City and like all these places, they have no Pokemon cards. They have none.
People are even going as far as Kohl's. So Kohl's sells Pokemon cards. Very limited section.
Very limited.
I'm talking a section that's maybe like 3 feet by 3 feet wide. Like,
yeah,
this is not and it's sold out. This is fucking Kohl's. Like,
well, I actually
are they using your Kohl's cash on it?
I have a theory. So I honestly, I think some of the I don't think it's just these like content creators that are buying all the packs, and I don't think it's just scalpers reselling it. I actually think some of it is stores. I think they're going and buying it, and they're not scalping it. But all right, so if the pack is $4 and they buy it for $4, but no one else has it, and you do, you can sell it for $6 or $7 just to have stuff in your store. So there is a store here, which I got to tell you about that. They sell used video games. They're right over off of. They're not far from here. I don't want to put too much emphasis on where it might be.
I was about to say I was about to like stop you, but I was like,
yeah,
fuck it.
They're not far. They're not far from here.
Is it by the subway?
Which subway?
The Subway, Target.
No.
Okay, different used game store. Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
No, I don't think you've ever.
Is it the one? Is it the one? Is it the one over by like Massey Pizzas over there?
No.
Okay. Continue. I'm done guessing now.
So they actually post on their Facebook quite a bit, and they have a huge display of Pokemon cards, packs, boxes. They actually have Champions Path Elite Trainer boxes, but I'm sure that they're not the $50 or whatever that the retail on them is. But it's interesting to watch because I've gone into Target a couple times this week, and where the actual packs are, they're gone. There's no individual packs for any set. They're all gone. They had a couple of the box sets down there, like they had just got the ones that had the Champions Path packs in them, like the ones with the big promo. But I watched one guy go in and buy like 10 of them while I was standing there because it was 10 Champions Path packs.
So with
the Alakazam V boxes that just came out, I kind of am like, man, I should have bought one of those because now they're gone. Like you can't buy one. So it's a problem. And it's not the people buying the packs. It's not really their problem. It really isn't.
Like my biggest thing is, and I tell a lot of people this, is like, I get the value of the cards. Pretty much if you pull a Charizard, any shape or form, it's going to be worth something. And yes, there's that small chance, but you're going to have so much bulk just chilling. And trust me, right now everybody's selling bulk.
Yeah.
Nobody's buying your trash ass bulk sets. Like nobody wants them.
Nobody wants them. Because even collectors and stuff. So there's people that sometimes do the pack openings that it's not just pack openings for them. They like the cards. They collect them or they use them for giveaways or whatever. I mean, you have to kind of like a little bit what you're doing. Then why do it? You know what I mean? So it's not just about making money or getting views.
The one guy I watch, and I actually have two stories. The one guy I watch, a big shout out to Concentrated Mind. I know you're not watching, but I do follow your Pokemon stuff. And like back-to-back days, my man pulls back-to-back Charizards. And back-to-back days.
That's pretty awesome.
Pulled a Charizard VMAX and pulled the black Charizard. I don't know what the name on the Charizard is, but it was pretty sweet. Super excited, whatever. But like his detail when he's doing it, like he's got this nice like whole display thing, like case almost, that he pulls the cards out of. Like they're all the holographic like giant cards.
Yeah.
And that's what his box is made out of. He made like a little display shelf. So when he opens up the packs, like they're just sitting on this like shelf. It's pretty sweet. But like he does like the pack trading and stuff because he pretty much has an inside plug on. He knows when they're getting their packs. Now, mind you, from what he shows, he's very open about it. He shows like what he buys for that day when he goes to the store, like a Comic Town or something like that. And I think the most I've ever seen him walk out with is 2 boxes of any type thing. Because one, he can take those 2 boxes, and that's like a quality, like almost 4 to 5 streams. With
oh,
the 2
sure.
packs.
Yeah, definitely.
But this one person, so she streams on Twitch. I wouldn't say crazy streamer. Obviously grew a lot with OnlyFans. She was selling topless pictures to people for evolution packs. And I was like, there's no way people are getting you evolution packs She did an unboxing. Somebody shipped her 357 evolution packs unopened.
Wow.
And I'm like, do the boobs come with cup holders or something? Like, am I missing something? Like, there's no way something like that should be. You should like. That's where I think you take it too far.
I mean, not that I care, but how much? How many packs did you have to send her to get a topless picture? Like, what was the minimum for
Like
seeing for seeing the goods?
I mean, I agree, but like when you sit
No,
there,
that you didn't answer the question. How
I have
many
no idea.
how
I
many
have no
packs
idea.
did it take? So like, if you found one, did you get a picture? Like, but
Yeah.
if you sent 10, you got like an autograph picture. If you sent 357, she actually showed up and let you motorboat her. I mean, like, how does it go?
I agree. I have no idea, but like they kept basically saying this was like you're because like when you're doing it this way, you're only getting rich. You can't lose type thing. Like so with the whole situation, about the the OnlyFans and stuff like that. She's doing it constantly to make the content, so she's getting these packs. That's the first part. And then obviously, well, she tricks you again. If you send her packs, doesn't mean you get a sub to the OnlyFans. That's a $25 like subscription fee. You have to sub first before and then still send the packs. Like it's and my thing is like then she'll go out and make posts like, "Oh, I need to upgrade my Pokemon collection. Send me your top Pokemon cards for a special surprise." And I'm like, I can just see a guy out there with a PSA 10 first edition Charizard thinking that this girl's about to wife him up. Like, but I mean, that kind of stuff cracks me up. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense.
It's well, I mean, I think that's where the term simp came from, right? I mean, like,
Hey, we can't say that.
oh, we can't?
No, that's an actual bannable offense on Twitch.
Oh. Why?
Yep.
I didn't
Like,
call anyone that. I said that's where the term came from.
So that came actually out like a month ago. Like you can't use the word like virgin, simp, and like I can't remember the other one. But it's basically you can't use them. Like if you type them or say them, yeah, you can't.
I'm assuming if you actually use the terms in a like as in calling someone that or
yeah, it's an instant ban. So if you type in those words on Twitch, you can like if there's a moderator or some kind of Twitch bot roaming in like a bigger channel, instant ban.
Well, I guess it's a good thing I didn't call anyone that.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's pretty insane. The Pokemon things and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what to even say about the situation. Like, I think Pokemon cards, but
that would make those people basically that term.
Yes, correct.
I mean that's kind of sad, I think. But
well, I mean it's like you're not quite a gold digger because like you're not dating a guy that has money. You're dating him for his Pokemon cards.
But they're not.
But you never even date them.
But you know what I mean? Like they're not dating.
It's
at all.
It's a Pokemon escort. Like instead of getting paid in Bitcoin or cash or something like that, like you're getting paid. Like there's like a third section with like a little button on it that says "Pay with Pokemon cards," and you got to like send them pictures of your PSA and Charizards and all that stuff. It was no, but one cool thing did happen. I feel like we always get stuck on Pokemon cards week by week.
And yet between the two of us, I'm the only one that's went out and actually bought it and opened some.
She won't let me go.
Yeah, don't you blame that on her. She's not like
that. No, hang on. Come up on camera and shake your head no. Yeah. Or you can even say it. The mic will be able to pick it up. But I mean, that's the thing.
She doesn't want you to go out and buy 700 packs of Pokemon cards.
So Optic Hitch, very popular streamer, super nice person. He went out and he got an Evolution box. He went out and purchased it online, whatever, completely sealed up, the whole 9 yards. First pack he opens is the reverse holo Charizard.
Nice. It's all downhill from there.
He basically said, the one guy was like, just start selling the packs. He said, don't open up another pack, just start selling them all.
Yeah, I mean, the likelihood of you getting the second most ultra rare card in the whole set in another pack in the same box is not good.
Yeah. So it was just really funny how it all worked out. So like I said, Pokemon cards, I love the rave. I love it. I think they're getting to the point everybody's doing it. So these values are about to start getting knocked more and more down because there's so many. Because I mean, Pokemon's over there just like printing them off like hotcakes. Like,
well, that's just it though. They're not. That's
not?
That's part of the problem is that they're not meeting the demand. Every time that the game has gone through like a weird resurgence, right? You know, like every time that we've kind of gone back and we've played for a little bit or we picked up the cards, you could go into almost any store and you could at least find cards. You know what I mean? Like you could buy packs, you could buy a box, you could buy whatever. You can't even find the cards. It hasn't been this dried up since the game first came out. When the game first came out, you couldn't get the cards, and there was only a couple places that you could even buy the cards.
You know,
it was hard. It was difficult.
They need to just sit down and just like turn their printer press on or whatever and just print out all the legendary cards. Like if you just want to Charizard, just packs. It's going to just be called Charizards.
Well, the problem with it is the last time that the scarcity went almost this bad, the solution that Pokemon Company came up with was print it into oblivion. I mean, they just kept printing and printing and printing and printing and printing. And basically the card values plummeted. They weren't worth anything. So it's like a two-edged sword because they want to make their customers happy. And right now the bulk of their customers are not happy because even though there's a ton of people open up this stuff, they're not their main customer, even though they're buying the most.
They're not getting rid of it either.
No,
a lot of them are
they're just keeping
a lot of them thinking, they're just going to sit on it. And that one day they're going to wake up and it's going to be worth $100,000. You know, this is not first edition. This is like,
well, when the interest for it wanes, and it will, I don't know when, but it will. People are going to be stuck with these things that aren't worth as much as they were, not even close to what they were. It actually happened a couple of years ago, when all of the original cards, like the original ones from Wizards of the Coast from base set, they weren't worth anything.
Yeah.
Like now you can go and you can buy like you want to sell somebody your Pikachu from base set 1 and you can get at least $1.25, $2, $3 for it, where a couple of years ago it was worth nothing. It wasn't even worth wiping your butt with. It wasn't worth anything. The only cards that still kind of like a little bit of value were like the foils from the starters like Charizard and Blastoise and stuff, but they weren't fetching the kind of crazy prices that they're getting now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of I think is what's going to end up happening is the market's going to get flooded with all these cards. And then like you said, when people dump all this stuff that they've been kind of hoarding, it's going to do the exact same thing that the comic book market did when in the 90s when they oversaturated the market. Because when people were still like, we want to buy this, keep making it, they did. Yeah. When the Death of Superman storyline came out, it almost actually killed the comic book industry because they kept printing it. They just kept printing it, 2nd edition, 3rd edition, 4th edition, because people wanted it. And now those books aren't worth anything because they printed them into nothing. Like they're not worth anything. So
let's see here.
But can you blame the comic companies for doing that? I mean, you're talking it's paper. Right? It's not like it's a huge investment. It's just some paper and some ink.
Yeah.
It's not like a bunch of plastic or anything like that. And when you're dealing with the Pokemon cards, it's not even like the special gift sets that are the crazy thing. Like just print more cards. People want the packs. You're talking salivating cardboard at that point. So they'll print them into oblivion, and then people will try to get rid of them, and they won't be worth anything.
So, you know, with the whole printing and stuff, because I know we talked about, I think last week or maybe the week before, the signed Black Lotus PSA 10.
Yes.
It's on. I almost said on sale. It's definitely not on sale. It's on the market.
It's on auction.
It's on the auction right now. Just currently looked. There's 103 bids so far. Current bid is at $310,000 right now.
Yep.
So are we going to see it? It has 3 days left on the bidding. It ends on the 27th. So the 28th, the lucky winner will be announced.
You know who ends up with these things, right? It's usually celebrities or athletes.
Well, not a lot of people have $310,000.
No.
Even if I sold my house,
it was Logic. I think Logic bought all those Charizard cards the one time for like $200,000.
Yeah, I think so. Logic.
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was Logic.
I don't even know how to spell Logic.
It's just Logic.
Yeah, I'm literally struggling.
He's having a hard time, folks.
I don't know why I'm trying to spell it like Logitech.
I don't know.
But Logic Pokemon card. Yeah, he spent Rapper drops 220,000 on rare Pokemon card.
Yeah.
He bought this is what he bought. He bought PSA and first edition Charizard.
Yep.
And then he had the 20% buyer's premium fee. And that made the value over 220,000. He opened up a 23K first edition booster Pokemon base set booster box.
It amazes me that there's even any of those still around, like still sealed up.
Yeah. What's the other one too? Well, like, what's his name? The guy that was on Pawn Stars. He was trying to sell his like collection of Charizards, all first edition, all beautiful, all rated and everything, like anywhere from like 8. I think he had 110 in there, and they were going to give him like 500K for it.
No.
He waited and he waited. Now each card's worth like 100K each.
Okay, first of all, unless you are absolutely desperate for cash, you should never take anything to a pawn shop ever.
Well, he wanted to see. He didn't know how much they would be worth. I mean, that's a great little thing for Pawn Stars. I mean,
it is. Like, you basically are going to get your stuff appraised by someone who is not like a legitimate appraisal, but just an estimated appraisal. And from a real expert.
If I was at that age, if I walked into Pawn Stars and they're like, "I'll give you $1.5 million right now for your collection," I'd be like, sold.
Well, if they're going to give you 1.5, then you know that it's worth more than that.
It is. Now,
so why would you take less?
Well, like I said, you're definitely now. Like you said, if you were stressed for money, you need money that day. Like you owed the mob 1.5.
Yeah, like they're gonna come and break my legs if I don't give them 500,000.
That shit's getting sold today.
Pawn Stars, like I said, yeah. Little Johnny at home is gonna be sad. I promised him this collection, but I need to keep my knees.
But yeah, I love it. I really do. I love seeing this. I'll put it this way: it is the most entertaining thing to watch. Because people's reactions when they're sitting there like, "Oh, fucking another reverse hollow Weedle," and then like they pull a fucking Charizard, they're like, "Oh my god!" And like their hands shaking, you can just see the hand cam, just like, "It's so pretty."
I don't know. Like I did a couple of the unpack videos with you, and it was fun. But I don't think I'm gonna head that way with my content. It's too expensive. And I don't feel like I get enough benefits from doing it. So,
well, especially right now,
you can't. And it's frustrating. It's almost as difficult. Almost, not quite. It's almost as difficult getting new packs of Pokemon cards is to get a PlayStation 5. It's almost as difficult. That's what the one guy, and he's not wrong, because you try to go get a pack, you can buy it, but you're going to pay scalper prices for it. So,
for sure. I mean, that's the thing right now. Our gaming community is in a weird scene right now. You can't buy graphics cards, not just 370s, not the 30 series, none. You can't buy Pokemon fucking cards, and you can't buy Xboxes or PS5s. Like, what world do we live in? I need everybody to go back to work.
It's a strange world, and the pandemic did something that I didn't expect.
Turn people into nerds?
I mean, I knew that people were going to stay home. I knew they were going to play games. I knew that they were going to do things like that. But I didn't expect it to bring out all these people I didn't think that the scalpers were going to come out in force. And they have, because There's nothing else to do. Like, the scalping actually got worse.
Well, I was gonna say they already made their 100th sourdough bread. Like, they need a new hobby, and they were like, "Ah, fuck it, Pokemon cards. Let's get it." But that's my thing. I mean, yeah, Pokemon's fun. I would love to get into it, but I just think it's a lot of money.
It is, and you're not really guaranteed anything back on your investment either.
If you're building an audience with it, I will say, like, the one guy has grown substantially from like 20-ish viewers to almost cracking 55 to 60 every time he streams. So if you're on that path, then yeah, 100%. And I tell everybody all the time, like, if you're gonna get into Twitch now, like, I've kind of changed it up. I'm like, start on TikTok. TikTok has one of the best open market for like getting you on somebody's phone. Better than Twitter can, better than Instagram can, all that stuff. Because like I said, people waste hours and hours on all social medias, but TikTok has to be probably number one. And like I said, there's people out there. So perfect example, Danny Garrido. He he's a US Coast Guard, like that's where he came from. He got discharged and all that stuff. My man he started doing TikTok a year ago to nobody. And he is now at 450,000 followers on TikTok. And he's grown his Twitch. Now that's where he always came from. He didn't get big on TikTok or something like that and was like, I'm now a Twitch streamer. Nah, he was like Twitch streamer all the way. But now he has 55K followers on Twitch and now averages 300 people a stream.
I don't know what I would do with that many people watching me. I know that I know that everyone's goal is to to get to that point.
Watched,
but I don't think I could do.
I watched, and like I said, he was playing Rainbow Six casual, like just with viewers, like they're talking whatever. His chat, I figured 300 people. That's a lot of people.
Yeah,
your chat's probably moving. Like if someone types a message, like that could be gone off the page in like 10 seconds. It really wasn't that bad. Like he did a really good job with it. But like I said, I think you don't go from 0 to 300 like that. You go like 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Like you grow to it. Like you start to get used to like, oh man, I can handle 100 people talking to me. Oh, now I can handle 150. Like it's a gradual move. But like I said, because I've been waiting to get back into streaming. And like I've been doing some stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah, what's up with that? I stream more than you now, and so I only stream like once, maybe twice a week.
So I've had a lot of projects come up this upcoming, and finally putting stuff into place. Like, hey, this stuff's going here. Getting the eggs. Eggs before, what is it? What's the saying? Like, count your eggs before they hatch, or you count your eggs before they hatch.
That's not the. I don't think that's the expression that you're trying to go for here.
The cart before the horse. Well, I'm trying to say, like, guys, I got the horse. my chickens have hatched.
Hey, what's going on, Jess?
But yeah, no. So like, I got an update on when we're doing the floors in the house, the whole house, like the floors and stuff, which is like a big goal for us. And basically it's put me in my favorite position to be in, and that's a pressure situation.
That's not what I was going to say. I was going to say put you in your favorite position, huh? On your knees.
Yeah.
Got him.
So it put me in a pressure situation of like, hey, you have X, Y, and Z to get done before this time. And if you don't get it done, this just isn't going to get done. And so like I work best when I have a time, like this is your time frame to do it. And this is when you have to have it done. When I just have an open time frame, I'm like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes. So got some updates on that. So I'm trying to, because I really want to redo the whole streaming room. I need a new desk. Need some updates to it. And stuff like that, but I don't want to overload rooms right now because I know I'm going to be having to move this shit. And instead of moving it twice, I'm taking my time. But one thing I caved in on this weekend was I got a brand new bed. And let me tell you, that thing is amazing.
Yeah.
I haven't even slept in it yet. I laid down in it, and we just put all the sheets on, all the new pillows. Like I spent like $400 to $500 on like new sheets and pillows for the bed. Like it's definitely gonna be where I sleep. I'll no longer want to even sleep on the couch. I'll be like, if it's not my bed, I'm gonna ask people why you have such a trash ass bed. When I go over to their house, like I'm gonna be bougie about it now. Uh, so things have just been in the works. So, but what I can give you an update on is I've dived into Rainbow Six. A buddy from work and his friends play, so I've been playing with them. But I don't want to show you like the leveling up process. I'm gonna be playing some ranked in the game, but the ranked, in my opinion, is not so pressured. It's not like playing League, where like the whole time I got to think. Like if I die, I'm like, all right, guys, let's talk for about 3 minutes because that's when the round will be over. Like I can sit there and chat with people, and like I said, I've had fun with it. And I'm not very skilled at the game, but I have fun. And I want to start streaming it, but some things have to happen first before I can fully dive into it. So, but I've been just having fun. I've been playing some story games. I've been getting on and playing Hitman every day, trying to like. I'm never gonna 100% the game, but like I've been going over like old missions that I did, trying to do the other part of the story. Like if I would have went this route instead of this, how does my game change? Stuff. So I've been just hanging out.
I've been behind the scenes, not on stream. I've completed 2 games this year.
Already?
Yeah, I've already completed 2 games this year, and I'm working through 2 other ones. Because you know me, I can't just play just one game. Like, there's only been a couple of games in my whole life where I could sit down and just focus on the one game and just play it all the way through. And Breath of the Wild was one of them.
Do you think you could beat all the games that you own?
If I didn't buy any new ones, yeah, I think I could. But
how long do you think it would take you?
I think if I played every day for
2 hours.
I think every day for a couple of hours a day, I could probably do it in a year.
Really?
Yeah. How many games do you think that I own anyway? I mean, are you talking games that I've actually
that's right there?
I mean, games that I've actually bought or games that I like, because I have a bunch of free games from like Epic Games Store and the PlayStation Plus that I have no desire to even play.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would say games that you bought, like the free to play games or just like the tags. I wouldn't say count unless you actually played them. I mean, they do count as games.
Well, you got to remember that a lot of the stuff over there on that shelf is Wii games, right, and Wii U games. And I played my Wii U a ton, so a lot of those games are there. I've actually already played. The games from the Wii section, they're not really games that you could beat. There are a lot of like sports games and stuff. But just story games, I only own about 150 PlayStation games that I've actually bought that weren't from like PS Plus. And I have finished some of them. It's not like I didn't finish any of them. So when you take into account the ones I've finished, I probably have realistically probably about 100 games I haven't finished. And
that would be interesting if you could do it.
That's not counting my Switch games. Like I have a ton of those too. But yeah, I feel like if you only did like a couple of hours every single day, because you don't want to go, I have to do this 12 hours a day. You'll just want to shoot yourself in the face because you won't have time to really do anything.
You'll make it 3 weeks with 12 hours a day.
Yeah. So I think a couple hours a day. You got to think that the average game probably takes 20 hours to beat, I would say. The average person, it would probably take the average person 20 hours.
Take you like average. 2 weeks a game. 2 weeks a game.
Yeah, it would take about 2 weeks a game. So I could get through easily 100 games in a year. Because there's 52 weeks in a year. There's 52 weeks in a year.
26 games every 2.
Not all the games take that long. Some of them take less. Some of them take more. I mean,
that's true. You can beat like Mike Tyson Punch Out in 2 hours.
Well, all right. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, I beat it in 3 hours. And I could have beat it faster, right? Like it wasn't.
I could have been faster.
Well, I was just screwing around. I was playing the game. I was having a good time. I wasn't trying to just beat it as fast as I could beat it.
Well, that's how I felt. That's what I kind of felt about Hitman. Like I tried to slow down because I mean, you could just literally go up and not try to be stealthy, not even really try to play the game for what the game is. Just go up, shoot the guy in the face, and run away.
The games that I think that you would have, I think the games that you would have like the hardest time getting through are like, because I have quite a few of like the Japanese role playing games. Some of those are like 50 to 100 hours each.
I'd be like this.
I think maybe if you took those out of my collection, I could do it easy. Because I do have quite a few of those. But like that's even like The Witcher. I mean, The Witcher's like 100-hour game. No matter how you play it, it's going to take you at least 100 hours to get through it. Yeah. So, but yeah, I feel like I could. All right, maybe 2 years. It might take me 2 years to do to do all the 100-hour plus games I have to. Probably 2 years.
Okay. Yeah. Well, kind of switching gears because this is like the final topic I want to talk about today. My purchase. So I made a purchase. We've all talked about it. If you haven't been here, you obviously haven't been here like the past like month. Every week we talk about my Fnatic order that I ordered.
Are we talking about that?
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Jess, whenever you want to get through either Man of Medan or Little Hope, just let me know and we'll do that. I know you're set up streaming, so we can do a co-stream on that if you want to. Continue.
Okay. So I ordered some gear back in September. They told me 4 to 6 weeks due to COVID. Get an email December 14th saying we're shipping out packages on the 14th in 14 days from now. Week after they were supposed to ship out, I asked them what's the status on this. They said, "Oh, we were waiting on more packages, but we'll ship it to you now." They ship it to me now. I waited. It finally came on the 22nd. It was Christmas again. Just to find out that it's missing 2 of the items that should have came in the package.
What? Okay, hold on. You said it's missing stuff. What is it missing?
Okay, so I ordered a jacket, a jersey, and jogger. All custom. Cool. The other things that was supposed to come with it was about 20 decal stickers that came with like the bundle and a face mask, a Fnatic custom face mask. In all, it's missing $20 worth of product out of the $186 that I spent.
Is it something that they're going to, maybe it was supposed to come in a separate package or something?
So they sent me one tracking number.
Hey, what's going on, Jess? This is so weird. My two friends named Jess are both online again, so yeah. I will refer to the other one as Panda, even though she's not on her Panda persona. Continue, please, sir.
So it's missing $20 worth of product. This has been nothing but a hassle. 4 to 6 weeks.
That's what I'm saying. Did it maybe like a separate package? Because that happens sometimes where they put it in a different box or it gets put into a with a different shipping label or something.
So, like I said, it came in one big package. So it should have came with everything. Basically, I'm at the point now. I sent Fnatic an email today, and I told him, I said, I'm very frustrated. I understand due to COVID reasons, when I signed up to buy the package, I mean, this is pretty much word for word from the email, that it was going to take 4 to 6 weeks. And I was very understanding of that. But after 4 months, I'm finally receiving my package just to be disappointed that it's missing stuff that I was promised. And I want a full refund. And I still want my 2021 jersey that I was promised as well. And that's what I said. So I'm waiting on an email back. Because they gave an update.
Jess, we're talking about this package. It's kind of been this ongoing thing. So he ordered this stuff from a company, and they told him it was going to be like 4 to 6 weeks. It's been over 4 months. His package did finally show up after he said, "Hey, you guys need to send me my stuff." So they finally did send it. And then he gets the package, and it's actually missing items. So that's just kind of like a brief recap of.
Yeah. So like I said, it was kind of general knowledge of what was inside the package. It's Fnatic. It's a professional organization. It's their 2020 Worlds. Like, so when their team goes to Worlds, they always do like a set that's like dedicated to like that certain region where they were at. So they were in China this year. So it has like Chinese lettering. It's pretty cool. It's like a custom thing. Like you can only get it during this time. They soon as Worlds is over, you can't buy it anymore. So it's like a kind of a limited time thing. And their thing to make up for it was for the delay was we're gonna send you guys a 2021 jersey. So I got an update on that too, by the way, because I was worried it was going to be another 4-month process just to wait for my free jersey. They switch manufacturers that are sending these jerseys out every 2 weeks. Like they're sending out big orders. Normally they said it takes about 2 weeks to get. So, but they said due to the high volume, we're going to have to wait a month and a half after release to start shipping them out.
This whole situation reminds me a lot of Kickstarter stuff, right? So, I mean, I'm glad that you got most of your stuff.
I got the stuff I care about.
You're gonna have to give us an update on the stuff that they did not send you, because this has now been kind of like an ongoing saga. And now I still want it. I need to know how it ends. I need to know, does he get his stuff? Does he end up getting his money back? Does he save the day? I don't know. So,
like, do you think I'm being unreasonable for saying I want my 2021 jersey and I want the stuff that's still missing and a full refund?
I think that at this point, if you get anything further from them, good luck. I mean, they're gonna go, well, we sent you this. See ya. I mean, I hope that they're not like that. I'd like to think that they're probably a better company than that, but I don't know them. I've never bought anything from them. I don't know what my experience is. No, I don't think that you're being unreasonable. It was supposed to be a thing that was supposed to take 4 to 6 weeks. I understand COVID. It's not like that's not happening. So if it ends up taking a little longer, okay, but 4 months is not 4 to 6 weeks. And we'll say hypothetically that we'll say that your process is now doubled. So you're talking 8 to like 12 weeks is only like 2 months, 3 months. So no, like when you hit the 4-month, almost 5-month mark, you're like, I feel like I'm being patient. So no, I don't think that you're being really unreasonable. Okay. They weren't very transparent though with their policies, because you said that the last time that you had talked to one of them that they hadn't sent your stuff out because they were waiting for a larger batch of stuff to send out a bigger order. And I feel like if they had communicated that with you from the start, your frustration would have been a little bit less, because you're like, okay, I get that. That is something I understand. But originally they told you nothing. Because they even told you, they're like, oh, well, we're sending that. I don't understand what's going on with it. They just basically kept giving you the runaround and not really explaining anything to you. And it wasn't until you basically were like, I want a tracking number, and then they said, oh, well, your package hasn't even left. It's still here. And you're like, what? Like, because it was supposed to have left. It was supposed to have left like a couple of weeks ago, and you're like, what? Why is it still there? So
I was frustrated, and like I said, it definitely made me really, really consider even ordering from them again, / even supporting their team.
I don't know that I would buy anything from a company that can't communicate with their customers, because, like I said, if a company is open about what's going on and letting you know what's going on, I understand that. There's things sometimes that are absolutely beyond their control that aren't like the norm. They don't normally happen, but you're always going to run into situations and circumstances where something bad happened. There's nothing that we could do about it. Let's try to save some face. But I think as long as you communicate with your customers and you let them know what's going on, you're still going to have people that are impatient and they're not going to want to work with you. But I think the majority of people are going to be like, all right, I understand. This is like an unprecedented time. There's not really much that you can do about it. But you let me know what was going on. Like you didn't just leave me in the dark or give me the runaround. So,
well, that's my final topic. That's my final rant for the day. I feel better getting it off my chest.
Well, I guess the saga continues. I feel like you've had a new update almost every week, which is, but I am glad that you got most of your stuff. So
I got the stuff I really cared about. Obviously, like I really want the stickers because I love the stickers. And I love their logo, and I want their face mask because I'm like, dude, the one day I walked into a bank, the bank I go to, and I was wearing an E United hoodie because I was a big Call of Duty fan and stuff at the time, and guy recognized me by it, and like I had a conversation with the guy. The guy ended up following me on like Twitch, and like he stopped in and watched like 2 or 3 of my streams.
So you remember when we went to Target and we had to go to the customer service desk for like an hour and a half, it felt like, to get all the pricing on those digital games sorted out.
Mm-hmm.
You know that guy? He still works there, and he remembers me. Every time he sees me, he's like, "Hey, what's the name of your channel again?" I don't believe he's ever actually followed, but he asks for it every time we go in because he said, "I'm going to follow you guys," but he might have followed us on YouTube, and I just don't know. But he's a really nice guy. I just saw him again the other day when I went to Target to pick up a couple of things, and he's
you should just troll him though.
And well, what was really funny about it was when I was in line getting my groceries to check out, the lady running the register, she was having like a difficult time with something. They changed something in the computer system, so she had to call over like a manager to help her, and he came over to help her, and then he recognized me. He's like, "Man, every time you come in here, you just got problems." And I was like, but I'm not really annoying about it. You know, it's not like I'm that guy that raises a ruckus and fusses every time they come in. I'm like, I'm not that customer. And she's like apologizing profusely. And I'm like, look, that's not me. I'm not that customer. I understand.
Yeah,
I've been on the other side of the register, right? Like I know how frustrating it is when they change stuff on the system.
Like I said, I'm not in that big of a rush. Like if it takes a second, I'm good.
No, if I was in that big of a rush, I would have did like the customer pickup thing and been like, all right, bring it off to my car and I'm gonna leave. Or I would have just ordered it through the mail and had it shipped to my house.
It was no, I'd love going into like places like that and like seeing people just get so pissed off about the littlest things in the world.
I just don't understand why people are like that. And maybe it is because I've worked on the other side of the register, you know.
Oh, I can't be mean. I really can't.
I can't.
Even at restaurants, like so, like me being a server in the past, like I sit down at restaurants and I judge the shit out of you the whole time you're serving. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have done that. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that one either. And then guess what? At the end of the day, I don't say anything to them. No, they still get They still get their tip. They still get their 15% tip. Like, I don't care how bad the service was. I will always tip you 15%, no matter what.
Well, it would have.
I've never tipped any less.
It would have to be really, really, really bad.
I mean,
to the point where I'd have to be
went back.
I'd have to be sitting there for like an hour or something, and you never came back to check on me. You know what I mean? Like it would have to be just bad.
Oh, like I said, I've had steaks be sent back 3 times, and I know they're not cooking them. I wasn't even mad at them.
It's not their fault.
Like he pretty much was like super. Like the guy was pretty nice, or like a side came out that wasn't my side, and they're like, "Oh my god, we'll take your whole meal off," and I'm like,
no, yeah, you don't. Yeah,
can I have, instead of broccoli, can I have my applesauce? Like that's all I wanted.
So I was on the way home the other night, and I stopped at I think it was actually D&D night. I stopped at Burger King on the way home because I knew I was like, I'm not gonna have time to cook or anything, and you know what? I was an essential employee today, so I'm gonna go and hang out with another essential employee in the drive-thru with my mask on. So, but anyway, so
you get your food with your mask on?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not like a rule or anything. It's just I just feel
makes
like
you feel better. Makes you feel
better.
It
makes me feel better, and I've seen the way they look at you when you don't have one. They're like, you have the plague.
Here's your food.
Yeah, like so. I mean, it sucks, but I'm trying to live my life, and you know. But anyway, so I go to Burger King, and I'm waiting, and there's a car in front of me, just one, and the way that their drive-thru is set up over there, I know you know the one I'm talking about. If you get into the drive-thru over there, like if you get in the line and then you change your mind, you don't want to be in the drive-thru anymore. Too bad, you ain't getting out because the way that it's designed, you got to go all the way through. You got to go through the speaker, you got to go through the window, you got to go through the whole. There's nowhere you can go unless you want to drive over a curb. So that's a really poor design. Anyway, we should talk to someone about that. But anyway, so I go to get. I'm waiting. The car ahead of me goes. And I pull up to the little window, or not a window, it's like the little speaker thing. And the guy comes on. He's like, "Hey, this is Trevor. Welcome to Burger King. Just take a minute to look at the menu and I'll be right with you." And I'm like, "Cool." All right, he's super friendly, nice guy. I'm like, all right. So I'm looking at the menu and I'm like, I already know what I wanted.
An automated message.
You know, I'm looking at the menu like, well, maybe they got something new. And the Impossible Whopper. That's that vegetarian Whopper. I was like, you know what? I'd like to try that sometime just because I'm curious. But I ended up going with the fish, the fish sandwich because I like fish, and I know I go to Burger King get a fish sandwich, but whatever. So I'm waiting, and I guess I hadn't really realized how long I was waiting. Finished a whole chapter in the Lord of the Rings book on audiobook. And then eventually someone comes to the back to
Hi,
the.
this is Trevor.
It wasn't
Take a
Trevor. It
look
was
at
this.
the menu.
It was this. It was this. It was this other girl. I think she
Nah,
said her
Trevor
name
was getting the fuck out of there. It was
I think
time for Trevor.
I think she said her name was Mindy or something. I don't know. We'll say her name was Mindy for the sake of the story. So Mindy comes on. She's like, "How long have you been here?" I was like, I don't know. I have no idea how long I've been waiting.
No, cars are honking at me.
But the line behind me had gotten quite long. There was probably like 12 cars behind me now, and there's never 12 cars in the Burger King drive-thru ever.
Yeah.
So she's like, so she takes my order. I go up, and when I get up to the window, Trevor comes up to the window. He's like, "Yeah, that'll be like $7.50," and I'm like, "Okay." So I go to get out my card or whatever, and then Mindy comes up to the window and she goes, "No," and like she looks really angry at him. She goes, "No," and then she opens up the window and she goes, "Sir, it's gonna be on the house tonight because you were waiting for over 12 minutes." And I said, "Okay." She goes, "No, it's not like we had a line and you had to wait 12 minutes because of a complicated order. Like no one came back to talk to you for 12 minutes and that's unacceptable. So it's going to be on the house." I was like, I'll pay. I don't mind. I know that when you ring up a free meal or something, it's going to come back and they're going to go, "Why'd you do that?" And then the owner of your place or the district manager is going to yell at you. They're going to take it out of your pay. So I'll pay. I don't mind. Like, she's like,
Yeah.
"Well, she's like, I appreciate you being really nice about it, but that's just unacceptable. I'll just pay for it myself." And I said, "Can I just give you money? Man, I just want to give you money." So it just made me uncomfortable because I don't I'm not that person that likes to take free stuff. I mean, like I get it. Things happen. Why was I in the line for 12 minutes? I don't know. It's not like anybody was in the restaurant. They're not letting anyone in. So I don't know what happened.
So kind of funny story. Taco Bell. The other night, me and Maggie were like, "Man, we really want some food. Like, I don't really want to stop. I don't want to cook dinner." But so I got Wendy's. She got Taco Bell. They're like right next door to each other. And she sat there and she always gets like dollar menu stuff, like cheesy bean rice burrito, like, simple stuff. So she got a cheesy gordita crunch, cheesy bean rice burrito. Like it was like a $5 order, Mac. Get up to the line, I'm paying. Guy's super nice, like, but it's like taking a while. And I'm like, man, it's only like 2 items. And he hands me a bag. And like he already handed me the card back. He hands me his bag. This bag's heavy as shit. I'm like, there's no fucking way this is our food. So Maggie, like I'm handing it to Maggie, like I kind of do like the pass through and I can see the food and I'm like, "All right, Maggie, just don't say anything. Just here's your food." And she said, "Why is it heavy?" And I said, "Don't worry about it." I said, "It's all there." And the guy's like, "Have a nice day." We get home. It's got 2 nacho supremes in it. Like a hard taco, a chili cheese burrito, and a gordita crunch, or not gordita crunch. It's whatever has like the panini bread. It's always pretty good. Chalupas. That's what it is. It like had like, and like I was telling Noah because he obviously works that way. He's like, "Dude, you just got like a $5 order. Like you got a $20 order of food." Because he's like, every one of those nachos are like $4 a piece. And he's like, "You got 2 of those." He's like, "You got lucky." And I was
Jess says,
like,
"I went to give a tip once and they have my card matching and I paid, but the waitress had accidentally
put $150.
Put 150 pounds on as a tip amount because it's manual machine." And then I was like, "Well, you're lucky that didn't bounce. I was meant to give 15 and took them over a week to give you your money back." Wow. I'd be like,
so yeah.
And it's not their fault, right? All right. So I've known people that work in banking too, and we do a lot of accounting stuff. So here's the thing. It's not the store's fault that you didn't get your money back. It's the bank's fault that you didn't get your money back. They can only do so much. It's amazing. You go in and you pay, right? And your money's like, it's gone. It's out of there. Like right now.
Yeah, but as soon as you want it back, they're
but when you want it back, it's the bank's policy, and a lot of it has to do with like anti-fraud stuff.
And like server wise.
Yeah.
This stuff happens all the time. So don't ever, so like people that do that. So like there are some people in the serving industry that will try to take your money.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they absolutely will.
When you don't write a tip or it wasn't good enough, they think in their head like, "Oh, what if I just charge them for a $20 tip and throw away the receipt that they signed?" Nothing to prove it. Because most restaurants, they make you staple the receipt to the signed slip. That's how it works, because it can be used for auditing. Well, like I said, there's people out there that do it. And people thought they were smart about it with credit cards. So say I swiped a $300 transaction, okay? But then I'm like, oh shit, like totally forgot. I needed to take this steak off. People are already gone. And they took a $20 steak off. And then you do a charge tip of like the $20 they gave you. It flags it immediately to the restaurant that you try to basically make more money than what you were tipped. Because like you swipe for $300, so that means the bill was $300, not the tip plus bill. And people always wonder why they get fired, and I'm like, because you literally just try to take money out of this. But like I said, servers and stuff like that, I've done it myself. I've actually done the $100 thing on an electronic one, totally on accident. I typed it in, and as I was sitting there typing, I added an extra zero. Instead of putting the .00, I put just 100, enter, and it charged a $100 tip. And now what my manager immediately fixed it. They can fix it. Don't think that they can't.
But it put a pre-auth on the card. Like that money is now got a hold.
So
it won't go anywhere, but it will show that it's not in your account.
And anytime you go to a restaurant and they first initially swipe your card before that tip amount goes in, that actually doesn't ever charge your card. I don't know if you knew that. It doesn't charge your card. It just makes sure there's money on that card.
Right.
That amount on there. So
they don't actually charge the card for a little while later, because a lot of times when you go to a restaurant, it'll have like what the price of the bill was without the tip in the pre-auth thing. Yeah. And then like you'll see a charge a couple days later that has the full amount plus the tip on it.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, there's a ton of people out there that, like I said, have been in your position. I've had a guy, truck driver. This dude came in every Saturday because he loved to play games. It was him and his buddy. And like these guys always have money. Like this guy has tipped me multiple times, just the two of them, $50-$60, and all they ate was some wings and drank some beer. And they're like, oh, I just came in to watch the games, and I'm back on my way. This dude's card gets declined. This dude's showing me, he's like, here, I'm going to log into my bank. Like this dude's got money. Like his little $25 tab, like shouldn't have, but like banks are insane with it. Like they basically told him he couldn't swipe there.
Yeah.
It was fraudulent. It was fraudulent activity. And he's like, I've been going to this restaurant every Saturday for the past like 2 months. He's like, this is just on my way home, like type thing. And they were like, oh, sorry, we can't make that charge. We don't know if it's
some of it is the banks, right? So yeah. And believe me, don't get me wrong. I think that it's really good that a lot of banking places now have some stuff in place to try and protect you more. But I think sometimes maybe it's a little overboard or strenuous, because I don't see how what their policy does but annoy me. I don't see how it would ever protect me from losing money. Yep. Like I would much rather them just say, like now when a charge comes through and it's over, and if it's like at a weird time, right? The one night I was up at like 3 a.m. and I pre-ordered I don't know, it was like a Nintendo Switch console or something. It was for Christmas or a birthday or something, and that was a weird charge because normally I am not awake at 3 o'clock in the morning buying shit. And so I got an alert from my phone. It's like, hey, someone just tried to do this. Do you approve the charge? Because I hadn't even approved it. It actually declined it straight up, like no. And I had to type back. I was like,
bad Kevin.
Yeah, but I liked that because it was kind of like in a weird time. But I personally would rather be notified anytime that a charge tries to go through for more than like $100. Just let me approve it, and I'd be fine with that. Because anything up to like $100, I feel like, all right, yeah, that sucks, but I could live with it. But
it might make you think about some of your purchases too. You're like, I don't really need a fraudulent.
I think it will, right? I think it would make you question it a little bit. And I buy such weird things, and like I'll go like a whole 2 weeks where like the biggest charge on my card is like $22 or $23, and that was when I stopped to get
those
gas.
Other 2 weeks is like $700.
Then 2 weeks after that, I went out and I was like, oh, I bought a TV this week, and then I bought this other thing, and then I was like, oh, you spent $5,000 this week. It's like, yay! So
do the chant. Oh man, what a great podcast! That was a good one.
It always is, though. I mean, we usually have a good time. So
always a pleasure. Guys, I think that's it for us. Those Two Nerds, episode 77 is now in the books.
Yeah,
cemented forever on the YouTube.
I got some stuff to do.
YouTube Space Time Continuum. I did all my cleaning today. I'm really proud of myself, so I have nothing to worry about. So I can just game tonight. So really good. Those Two Nerds versus 2021 Part 1.
I think we already did that one, but I didn't know what else to call it. So I'm running out of titles.
I know we had a lot of good catchphrases. Like for 77 episodes, so we're only getting stronger though.
I'm wondering how long it's going to take before we accidentally reuse the same title more than once.
Hey man, wise man once said, "Don't pay full price for late pizza."
He also said, "Man,
our forgiveness is divine. Never pay full price for late pizza."
He also said, "Man that go to bed with itchy butt, wake up with smelly finger." But anyway, that's the little nugget of wisdom we're going to leave you on. I nicked this from Nick's
Chinese proper. Yeah. Have a good one, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Watch some playoff games. Love y'all.
Have a good weekend
today too. That's another one.
And drink some water.
Yeah, drink water. Wash your ass.
Water. A lot of that.
Or
Trulies. That's not water.
It has water in it.
It has water in it, yeah.
And it's just like I said, I'm drinking my juice for the day too. It says less than 1%.
All right, we're exiting the show, y'all.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all next week. Ciao.